Welcome back. I am Dr. Kate Rodriguez, host of the Overachieving Shit Show. For all you overachievers that never seem to have your shit together, welcome. You're not alone. Just a quick disclaimer, I am a therapist, but I am not your therapist in this episode. This is just for educational and entertainment purposes only. Also, I have to be careful if you have kids around because I do have a fucking mouth on me. All right. Well, this episode is gonna be me solo. I do not have a guest today. I do apologize. It's because I haven't got my shit together since I've been back from vacation, and I have some great people lined up for the next few shows. We've got singers and entertainers. We have children advocates. We have more crazy personalities that are ready to pull back that curtain and let people know the real shit show behind success. So I really hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel and get ready to have some really cool updates in the coming weeks. Okay, so picture this. You wake up, you think of all the things you have to do today. You already feel behind. You get to work and everybody seems to be talking about something that you're not included in. It feels off. Your boss sends you an email that kind of sounds like they're mad at you, but you're not sure. Someone on your team that's under you quits out of nowhere. And after a whole day like this, you get home and then everybody's lost it. And you start to think, wait, my friend hasn't texted me back. My dinner sucked. My kids are arguing. My spouse is annoyed. What's wrong with me? I'm the common denominator. Am I the problem? Well, this cognitive distortion is normal. If you've ever found yourself carrying the weight of everybody else's moods, reactions, and disappointments, well, guess what? This episode is for you. Because we are going to talk about why your brain convinces you that you're the common denominator, and that's why everything's always all screwed up. I just think it's a very important topic, and it's something that I have felt many times. Many times I've had to sit and look and say, like, am I the problem? And so, our brain is always trying to fix things. It's always trying to come up with solutions to things, and it really hates uncertainty. Our brains hate it when there's not an explanation for what the fuck is going on, right? So a lot of times instead of accepting that people have bad days and they have stress and everybody is going through financial worries, grief, hormones, and everybody has their own fucking luggage that they're bringing around, we will often internalize their bad moods and think like, well, they're upset with me or they're being rude with me, so I must be the problem. What did I say? What did I do? You start rewinding, going back through all your conversations. You might even read through all your texts and emails and see, like, where did I fuck up? What did I say that upset these people? Because it has to be me, right? It's almost like comforting in a weird way, because if you can figure out what's wrong and what you did, then you would be able to fix it, right? If it's you, you could fix it. If it's just life, and you can't fix that. Nobody can. So one of the things that I see the most is people who are the people pleasers, right? So the people pleasers, they carry this emotional debt, right? They don't just handle their own emotions. Usually they don't even pay attention to their damn emotions. They're feeling responsible for everybody else. They feel responsible for everybody in their house, feeling they want everyone to be happy, everybody to feel good. If somebody's sad, they're going to wipe their tears and figure it out for them. At work, if somebody's upset, they want to fix that. If somebody is sitting there quiet and just seeming off, they want to talk to them and figure it out. Are you mad? Are you sad? What's going on? How can I help? So when this happens, like if someone sighs and you think, no, was it something I said? Was it me who upset them? Right? If somebody doesn't respond to your text and you start spiraling, start thinking, why didn't they answer me? Are they mad at me? What did I do? How can I fix it? Do I need to apologize? But I don't know what to apologize for. Yes, that is exhausting. So here we always talk about burnout. We talk about burnout when it comes to work and family and all these different things. But if you live like this as a constant people pleaser and you're always wondering if you're the problem for certain things, then yes, that can totally add to your burnout because you are just emotionally invested in all these different people, and sometimes you're just ignoring yourself because you're trying to make everybody else happy. Maybe it's a picky boss, maybe it's a spouse, like I don't know, it could just be everybody. This past week, as soon as I got back from Italy, I went to the locals list party for the Ben magazine because thank you to anybody who voted. I did win the best therapist category, and I set up a little fake therapy office because the first year I won, nobody told me that I could have a booth. I never thought that was a thing. And then last year, Dr. Bailey Kramer won. She brought her couch and she had this wall of secrets, and so many people put different confessions and different things on this wall. And she said, man, some of these got really deep. So this year when I won and they asked me if I wanted a booth, I said, you know what? I think moving forward, we should all do booths because when Bailey did it, it really made people see like there are these things that they need to talk about and they need a safe place. So I brought my chase and I made a fake little prescription pad, and I had different things that we could check off. I would ask people questions, and we had burnout, we had perfectionism, we had people pleasing, a couple other ones where I would check and then give them permission to take a break, do something fun for themselves, or set a boundary. And then if somebody got mad at them for setting that boundary, they have their prescription to blame me, right? And so many people picked people pleasing and perfectionism. And it was very common. And what was cool was that when they sat down on the chase, they were like, wait, I can't go to therapy for this? I thought I had to be crazy. No, you don't. If you struggle with being a people pleaser, that is totally something that you can go to therapy for. Do you have to? No, you could also work on that on your own. That's okay. You don't need a professional, but you can. And I think that there's something very powerful in that. Like people got to sit in a therapy office and realize this isn't so scary after all. I think that there's people out there who are starting to come around and feel like I don't need to carry this emotional weight of everybody else every single day because it's too heavy. I need to unload. On that note, though, I think when you start to feel like you're the problem, start looking around at the evidence, and sometimes there will be none. You aren't the problem. But we do also have to be totally honest with ourselves because sometimes we are the problem. That's okay too. Take take that responsibility when it is you. Like maybe you said something insensitive. Maybe you forgot something important. Maybe you hurt somebody's feelings, even if it was unintended. And if something like that happens, it's not the end of the world. Just if you realize what you did, if somebody talks to you, own it, apologize, and you can repair it and you can grow from there. But don't confuse taking responsibility with taking blame for everything. Those are two totally different things. Okay? There was a time where there was this group of moms that I saw often that were starting to have a lot of things and not invite us. Birthday parties, parties at their house, and I was always being left out. And then they started to kind of be rude to me, and I started wondering this question. Am I the problem? What did I do? I'm going back in text, I'm replaying conversations, I'm thinking about everything, and I can't figure it out. I can't figure out what I did or what I said that would have upset them. Now, I am snarky. I have a very dark sense of humor. You can listen to the episode with Sammy Ramone for that one. I am who I am. Who you hear on this podcast is totally me. I am not everyone's cup of tea, and I completely understand that. But I usually know when I upset somebody. So for people to be upset with me and me not know, I start thinking like, am I the problem? I get along with all kinds of people. Well, my husband witnesses me around the moms, and he was like, what did you do? Like, you had to have said something to me because they're really ugly with you. I said, I don't know. I confronted them in a very nice way, just like, hey, I noticed like we never get invited, and I'm just curious, was it something I did? What did I say? And they were like, no, that's not true. We don't exclude you. We just, anyways, kind of gaslit me a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, I guess it is me. Maybe I am just too much. That's possible. Maybe I'm just too much for them. Well, as the time goes by, I see them fighting with each other and then fighting with other people and all the same behaviors with me to each other and to others. So I did realize it was not me, and that's okay. But I did learn from that because I should have had that conversation a lot earlier to throw it out there. Just, this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling left out. I'm feeling rejected. I'm feeling like my kids are being left out, and I just want to know, like, what did I do? And take responsibility if somebody says. I have had times where people have completely misunderstood my sense of humor, and you really have to read the room sometimes. So I've had people that I joked around with for literally years, and one time they take something that I say, and one day they just weren't in the mood. They were going through their own stuff. They were going through their own stuff, and I didn't pick up on that, which you think bad counselor, but it wasn't a counseling situation. I didn't pick up on what they were going through, and I kept making these similar jokes that came across to them as very insensitive and crossing a boundary that they had set for themselves, but I wasn't aware of it. They were very upset with me, and once I realized what they were talking about, I clarified what I meant and that I meant no harm, and then but I took responsibility. I was like, I'm very sorry that I said that and that really hurt you. I wasn't aware that this is something you don't joke about anymore or whatever, and move forward. Instead of asking yourself, am I the problem? I think, look at the evidence. What evidence do you actually have that you are the problem in these situations? Also, did this person tell me they were upset with me? Or did they set a boundary and I didn't respect it? Could there be another explanation? Shit, maybe it's just a full moon. Who knows? Also, are they even really mad, or am I pretending to read their mind? So, is it your responsibility for their mood, or are you trying to manage somebody else's emotions? It's not always your place to fix things. Some people just need to move forward. I was talking to my last guest, John, about this the other day because him with his space where he has estheticians and he has salon or nail people. He has a lot of different people, and me with the counseling group. There's sometimes where, for me, like, I'm a training place. So some people just get their LPC hours and then they move on to get either different jobs or they different environments, or they move. And sometimes it all happens at once, like for both of us, right? Sometimes it seems like the turnover is getting up to a lot and people keep leaving, and we were talking about how we both feel sometimes like, is it me? Am I is it my fault? um am I too much? And then I started thinking, a lot of these people that come and work at our office come because they know me and they know how I am, and then just life changes, and that's okay. So we were talking about how a lot of times it's just life, right? People have babies, people get married, people move, people decide counseling isn't for them, people decide with him, like, no, I'm just gonna have my own little place or whatever. And so we also have to look at that evidence and sometimes realize, like, it's not always about us, right? You're not always the problem. Everyone gets to change and move forward with life in whatever way that is. And everyone gets to have feelings. I think one of the healthiest lessons that I've ever learned are that people are allowed to have uncomfortable feelings and we don't have to fix them, right? They're allowed to be disappointed, frustrated, angry. None of those automatically mean that you did something wrong. You might even bring out insecurities in certain people. Maybe you have excelled in your career while somebody feels like they have had more roadblocks and they kind of resent you for that. Maybe you've never been overweight and you have a friend that constantly struggles and gets pissed when they see you eat a cheeseburger and it not go to your ass. I don't know. There's different things that you might bring out these insecurities of other people, and it makes them feel certain ways about you, and that's okay. They're human and you're human, right? If somebody's jealous of you, they might treat you a certain way, and hopefully they're able to examine what they can do with that jealousy, for example. So what's this connection with burnout, right? Well, if you believe that everybody else's emotions are your responsibility, shit, you're never gonna rest. You're never gonna rest. If you're constantly scanning the rooms that you're in to check people's facial expressions, if they're comfortable, if they're talking, if you're replaying all these conversations and trying to keep everybody happy, that's emotional labor, and that's gonna burn you the fuck out really fast. So, if you walk into a family event and nobody's talking and everybody seems like they're holding on to some, I don't know, some kind of bullshit with each other, that's not your job to bring it out and fix it. It's okay. It's not your responsibility to be the entertaining one, to keep everyone talking, to see what's wrong, to see how you can help everybody. Yes, you can do that sometimes, but don't feel like it's always your responsibility. And so here's what I want you to remember: not every bad mood belongs to you. So if somebody's in a bad mood and you're feeling very dysregulated, right, because of that, I feel that a lot of people often start to go into the fawn response, right? So there's fight, flight, freeze, right? We've heard of those. But there's a lesser known reaction called the fawning response. And so this is when you start to people please and make sure everybody like calms down. So for overachievers, you use this people pleasing as like a nervous system survival strategy. So you want to appease everybody to avoid conflict, because a conflict makes you feel dysregulated, right? And being dysregulated explains why you start feeling paranoid. You start thinking, am I the problem? Are they mad at me? What's going on? Maybe I said this, maybe I said that. Maybe it's because I wore this or did that. And so your nervous system is starting to run on this chronic stress, and your brain is misinterpreting just basic boundaries or neutral reactions as rejection, and you start feeling like you're too much and you're the problem. I think of Encanto with Mirabel, and how she can hear everything. She sees all these different people in her family carrying the emotional load, or like she's carrying the emotional load for everybody in that movie. And in a way, like that's her superpower. But no, that was exhausting. She was so sad and hiding it and masking it. When an overachiever sets a boundary, right? Like, I'm not going to answer my phone to anybody at work after 6 o'clock. If they let people cross that boundary for years and then they set it hard, everyone's going to be upset. It's going to take a while for people to start understanding that they mean it and they're doing that for themselves. So, the people that usually get upset with you setting the boundaries are usually the people who benefited from those boundaries, right? So don't explain so much. You need to catch yourself in those spirals. So when you start thinking, am I the problem? I want you to say, is that true? Or am I just dysregulated and tired? Right? I just want you to remember that sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is to let people have their feelings while you just keep your peace. Sometimes you just need to give each other some space to be able to figure things out and move forward. Then instead of asking yourself, am I the problem? Am I taking responsibility for something that was never mine to carry? So just remember, you are allowed to take up space. You're allowed to be who you truly are. You're allowed to be inconvenient to people who benefit from your burnout. Thank you for being here. I can't wait for the next few episodes. I promise I'm going to get back on my shit and start releasing every Friday. Please go to YouTube and subscribe. I only have 50 subscribers, but every time I get a new one, my kid thinks I'm cool. So please do that. And I really look forward to getting back on schedule. And if you know anybody who needs to be a guest on here, please reach out. Let us know. Thank you so much.